Hey guys, and welcome back to Gregtech New Horizons, where today we're going to be getting our Tier 3 rocket, no matter how long it takes. So, just a really quick recap on what we have to do here. In order for us to move the base and unlock this quest, we need to reach the Asteroid Belts, which means we need the Tier 3 rocket. To get the Tier 3 rocket, we have to get the next tier of thermal padding, and we also need all of these materials. So between the episodes, I have just started crafting up the Tier 2 plating, and also preparing some of the dash we need to upgrade the Tier 2 to the Tier 3. We're also still yet to get enough plutonium in order to get this system running here, which is supposed to create us radon. And the radon we're going to need for the EV sensor and emitter, which we need for the rocket control computer. Some of these other crafts, for example this lander, we need the Tier 2, which needs the Tier 1. And then that has to be upgraded to Tier 3, which needs a lot of dash. And dash is 100 seconds in the blast furnace. So I'm not entirely sure when we're going to cut back here, but I'm just going to do all the grinding. And we'll come back with almost the Tier 3 rocket. I don't really want to spend much more time on this on camera. Do you think we can do it before this timer runs out? This is how much nuclear fuel we have left as well. Alright, enough talk. Let's do some crafting. Alright, so it's been around 3 or so hours. Check this out, we got most of the rocket components here, including the materials for the rocket control computer besides the emitter and sensor. And our problem is this guy right here. We still only have 8 tiny piles of plutonium-239. So basically the situation is that we need to pulverize this Phobos Stone and then macerate its dust for a 1.5% chance at plutonium-239. And this has to roll twice. We need 8 dust of this 239. And this is our current stock of Phobos Stone. It may become necessary to go and have to take another trip just to pick up some more of that stone. But we'll see, maybe we get lucky. We'll decide later on, but we do still have to make the thermal padding as we mentioned earlier on. And then besides that, is there anything else for these emitters? I don't think so. Platinum rods we can do. We may need to make some more workstations for the circuits. And then the quantumized takes the radon, which needs the plutonium. So yeah, we're basically on this thermal padding right now. So to start off with, we need 24 thermal cloth. We could either make this from scratch, but I don't think we have the meteoric iron available for this. Or we could actually just recycle our tier 1 and we get all of the thermal cloth back. But since it may become necessary to visit Phobos, we need this protection of the tier 1 thermal padding. So I don't really want to recycle it just until we make sure we get enough of this plutonium. There is plenty of other things to be doing here with this thermal padding though. We need a total of 54 tungsten. And we have, oh that's tungsten steel. We have 2 tungsten. 2 tungsten is not enough. Okay, I think this is the long recipe as well, isn't it? Yeah, 400 seconds and no overclock. Well then. Oh, wait a second, what? Oh no, this is dash. Well, I guess we better get the tungsten going. Oh, this is going to take forever. I thought I did start this at the end of last episode, but it must have got stuck with the configuration in the input bus here. Well, anyways, what else for this? 192 titanium foil. Shouldn't be any issue here. We have over 1000 of titanium. Something that is going to be an issue is polybenzimidazole. And this is where our chlorobenzene we picked up from Mars a few episodes ago comes into play. Okay, so similar to the rocket fuel, this isn't something that will be fully automated at this stage of the game. It shouldn't be too hard just to batch craft this, and we'll basically just be following these quests. From what you guys mentioned, we need double what the quest recommends. So first step is to make chromium trioxide, which is just chrome and oxygen, and potassium nitride, which is nitric acid and potassium. Easy first steps. Oh, look at this, it's even given us IV loot bags for this. Okay, the other side of this is we need dimethylbenzene, and for that we need to grab some of our benzene, which comes out of the distillation tower, along with some methane gas, which comes out of the other distillation tower here. Alright, so that's going to take 100 seconds in the chemical reactor. In the meantime, the other part for this is our chlorobenzene. The quest technically wants us to make it up ourselves, just mix in some benzene and chlorine, but we have a full tank of it from Mars, so we just need to make sure we hold enough chlorine for the quest. Okay, this isn't actually too bad. The next part is just nitration mixture, which we're making for ITNT. So a lot of this we actually already have. Nitration mixture should be in this chemical reactor. Yeah, right here. And we just need to mix these two together, but since our other chemical reactor is being used, we may as well use the large one. Oh, we are also getting diluted sulfuric acid out of this, but I mean, we are absolutely swimming in sulfuric acid, so we'll just let it void in this bottom output hatch. And 43 cells is way more than enough. Let's see, so we now just need to combine the output of this with some copper dust, which I think also has to be EV. Yeah, so it has to be in this LCR again. Copper goes in the input bus, and is this a different circuit number? I think it might be. Yeah, circuit 9. How do we make circuit 9? I know there's that circuit programmer, but it's not as useful now that you can do it in most machines. I just wish that you could do it in the LCR though, but unfortunately you can't. At least not to my knowledge. Now you should work? 90 seconds, okay. And we're actually almost there. We need to make some phenol, which eventually will fully automate in order to make epoxy. But for the time being, we'll just mix our chlorobenzene with some water in a chemical reactor, and this gives us our phenol. Alright, so once all 3 of these chemical reactors finish what they're doing, we need to mix all of these in an IV chemical reactor. So an IV chemical reactor is obviously something that we don't have right now, and we're also not actually even producing IV power. We did plan ahead for this though, we did actually anticipate this, which is why we crafted an extra EV input hatch. EV energy input hatch, this thing. So I think all we need to do here is just swap in another EV energy hatch, hook up the aluminium cable, and we'll make sure nothing else is drawing power from this thing because this is going to be very power hungry. Alright, the buffers on this thing are actually full, so we should be good to go once we have our fluids. We just need to wait on that little HV chemical reactor down there. So that was the phenol, 36 cells of dichlorobenzidine. Should be another quest. Still 4 more recipes to run in this HV one. But there is one more step for dichlorobenzene, and that is to mix with zinc and ammonia. I'm not sure if we have any zinc actually, is the question. Surely we have some zinc somewhere. Apparently not. I'm trying to do like that inventory search thing, but we don't have any. Do we have any ingots, I wonder? No, this is antimony. Apparently we can get zinc from processing antimony ore, or tin, or sphalerite, or tetra. Oh yeah, we can get this from a lot of different places. We should have at least one of those ores in this chest. Oh yeah, it looks like we picked up some antimony from Mars, I think it was. So I guess while we wait on the zinc, and also some more ammonia coming out of the distillation tower there, we switch back to the other side of this. We need to make the phthalic acid, which has to be EV, so in fact I've disconnected the other energy input hatch for now, just so that we run this at EV and not IV. And this actually takes 19 cells of oxygen, which obviously the LV input hatch can't handle. So does it work if we put it in a second input hatch like this? Maybe it all has to be in the one. Okay, then what happens when we switch this with a MV input hatch? Now do you work? Yeah, there we go, 45 seconds. Which output hatch is it going to come out of though, is the question. I guess the top one, it doesn't really matter, we're getting water out of the second. And the last 2 reactions is the 2 IV ones, so this is kind of the big test here. To see if the system works with the overclocking. Okay, so the first one is going to be with the sulfuric acid, this phthalic acid, and phenol. Oh, it is working. Okay, 5 seconds. Oh, nice. Okay. I'm so glad that worked there. Yeah, so we need 36 cells of this. We need double what the quest asks for. I wonder how the batteries down here are doing. We should probably monitor this just to make sure we don't void any fluids. Oh yeah, we're good for the batteries here. So 36 cells of this chemical I can't pronounce. Gives us our next quest. We do also have enough zinc to complete the diaminobenzidine. Oh great, another 5-second recipe. It's good to always see this. Nice, and it also gives us hydrochloric acid. Alright, finally we're on the last chemical reaction here. It does also want us to make the plates for some reason. I don't think we need the plates right now, but I mean we can always fluid solidify and then fluid extract again. And do all these quests really give us IV loot bags? That is kinda crazy, to be honest. Wow, that is awesome. We should definitely enchant all of these things. So as it turns out, it is actually necessary for us to come back to Phobos for some more Phobos Stone. This is actually now just the last piece that we're missing for this tier 3 rocket. I've been mining here for around 15 minutes or so and we filled half a compressed chest. It's hard to say if this is going to be enough or not since it's chance based. And the chance outputs are not like Community Edition. It's not like we get an increased rate if we use, for example, an EV centrifuge instead of the HV one. It's just a flat percentage rate. I think we may gamble though and just call this enough. It's easy enough to come back and grab more. Oh yeah, and look at this. Look how many mobs there are through there. Ha! Take that, spiders. Oh, look at those guys down there. They're not having a fun time. Alright, we made it back safely. I think we actually may need some more macerators for this. We can't use our steam ones because this is an HV recipe for the pulverizing step. Or no, it's MV recipe. Yeah, I don't think we have any MV macerators anywhere. This is our only one above the steam tier. But yeah, that is a lot of Phobos Stone. That's going to take quite a while to process. While I was crafting the rocket actually, earlier on, we did get our first 4 pieces, so we actually only need the dice to roll one more time. The other 4 should be in this LCR ready to go. Hey, you shouldn't be here. Anyways, now that we're back from that trip, we should have our tungsten ready. I did start to prepare the titanium as well, and we obviously have our polybenzimidazole. This tungsten has to be string, which we need the long rod for. And I think the most efficient way to do that is to fluid extract, and then use the fluid solidifier for the long rod. But now that we've topped up the Phobos Stone enough, I'm confident enough to take off this thermal padding that we have and just recycle this. And that way it should give us all 24 thermal cloth back. Let's see how slow this tungsten recipe is going to be as well. Oh, apparently we can't do this. Why does it have to be HV? Why does this have to be HV? Alright, well I guess we need a HV fluid solidifier. Doing it like that does save an ingot of tungsten, so it's going to be worth upgrading the machine. Alright, 1 HV fluid solidifier. And this thing, I guess we can just put on the end of this line. Hopefully most of these machines will be moved in the next few episodes anyway. Now we can fluid solidify. 15 seconds per rod though, so it's going to take a little while. Oh, and it has to go through the wire mill, which is another 60 seconds. But this is EV. Oh, I didn't see this before. I don't think we have an EV wire mill, do we? No, we don't. We definitely don't have an EV wire mill, and we'll have to make 2 more workstations for this as well. I did make the extra workstations for the emitter and sensor, but I think now we're also out of processor assemblies as well. Alright, so it's been a while later. I've been doing some crafting. I replaced some of our HV circuits. We also got the wire mill here going for the tungsten rods. So we have more or less completed our tier 3 rocket. We just need some amazing RNG from that centrifuge. So I thought in the meantime we would start a new project today actually. And it's something I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to, myself included. And that is going to be Applied Energistics. It's about time, right? So don't expect anything too fancy. The recipes here, of course, are not default. And we won't be fully fleshing out our ME system. This is going to be something ongoing throughout the rest of the game, I suspect. But I would at least like to get our first basic ME system here with this quest. So if we look at just a couple of these recipes, even, like, for example, this glass cable. This all requires quartz of various forms. We have the Ceres, the nether quartz, and also quartzite. And I was checking our current supply of quartz, and it's not looking too healthy. I think it may be in this other chest somewhere. Or maybe it just doesn't exist. No, I'm sure, yeah, there we go. I've seen a stack of Ceres. This is basically all we have to our name. Or wait, no, I did mine out some of that quartz vein in Phobos before all the mobs got to it. So we have a couple of extra stacks here. But still, I don't really think that's going to be enough. So we're going to move our miners to the Twilight Forest, which is where I think this is most abundant. Actually, no, it's the Nether, isn't it? Yeah, we need to be going to the Nether. And we will start to process what we have. It looks like the most efficient route to do this is through the sifter. So we'll put all of that in our grinder to be macerated down. And if I remember correctly, there is some quartz veins we haven't yet mined out to the north up here. I think these 2 here. Yeah, we're going to place our miners there. Right around here. These pigmen down here are not happy about this situation. But the other one we want to place just a few chunks over. And we'll also grab this nether quartz vein here. If we can, if we get some permission. And I didn't bring the combustion generator here for this. Oh, great. Alright, so apart from the quartz, let's look at some of the other materials in bulk that we're going to need for this. So we will obviously need some storage cells to store the items in, which we need stainless steel for, aluminium. We should be good on both of those things. Maybe we need to top up the aluminium, but we do also need the processors, of course, which looks like we have 2 options on how to make. We can do it in the inscriber, or we can do it in the assembler. I think I'm down for the assembler. Anything to avoid having to use this thing. But to get the processors, we need the patterns, or the presses. I think I remember picking up 1 or 2 of these things. Ah, yeah, we do. We've got silicon and engineering and the logic, so we're missing one. Yeah, we need calculation for this as well. Also, look at this for a meteorite compass recipe. All for one press, which I'm hoping we get first time. What are the chances though? We have been unlucky thus far. Looks like we are headed due north. Or no, actually right below us. Ah, I guess we dig down then. Skystone. Is this a different texture, by the way? This kind of... I don't know, I feel like this is different to Create Above and Beyond. Maybe I'm just imagining things though, it's been a while since I've seen Skystone. Silicon engineering. Not what we need. Calculation. Is that the one we were missing? Aha! Alright, so before we continue with these AE quests, we did just unlock 2 AE loot bags. And I've been told these things are super powerful when you enchant them. So we're going to make a few more Fortune 3 books. Although what is the catalyst item for this? We do need the item processor in order to enchant these bags. Oh, this is going to take a few steps. Okay, we need the logic processor, plus something called an item circuit tier 1. Engraved gold chip, that's not too bad. And the golden chipset is the Foreman press with a gold plate and a redstone chipset. Okay, this is this is going to take a few steps, and definitely something we want to automate pretty soon. Alright, let's just try to get a few at least today, just to kickstart us on this journey. I guess starting with the logic processor. So for all of these processors we need the silicon versions, and for this we need silicon plates, and for this we need silicon ingots, which is a blast furnace recipe. Oh, never mind, we have over a stack here. Nice. Although I guess we should really cook some more. A stack really isn't going to get us very far. Oh, and time is up as well. I think we may have run out of fuel on our nuclear reactor here. Oh yeah, they're all depleted. Okay, let's get these switched out before we start voiding things in the blast furnace. Thankfully I have made another 3 days worth of fuel rods. Almost 3 days worth. And these depleted fuel rods actually we can get lutetium for, which I know is going to be very, very important for us down the line. So it's actually not a bad thing that we're depleting these things out. Alright, so first we make the silicon into the plates, then we need to form and press this stuff. Do we have a form and press anywhere? Oh, right here. I think this might be our only one though at LV. And it's 10 seconds. You know what, we'll live with that just for today. I think we're going to make dedicated machines for all of the AE2 recipes pretty soon. But since we're poor on the input items, then we can't really keep more machines saturated. I think we'll just live with what we got right now. Alright, so I've been doing some more material collection, and unsurprisingly, we actually can't get away with just living with what we've got. The recipe here for the item circuit takes an HV form and press. I knew this kind of thing would happen, right? It was only a matter of time. Alright, there's one HV form and press. I don't think it's a quest though, but yeah, we do still need it to progress through AE. That's going to go right here. Conveyor on top for automation. And let's see how much faster this thing is. With the muffling upgrade, of course. Oh, just 2 seconds per. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I've went for a stack of each of these circuits. Surprisingly, we did actually have enough diamonds. I was a little bit concerned that we wouldn't have enough for this, since diamonds are not the easiest things to come by. But we did actually manage to get enough. I think most of it came out of the sifting machine, which is now processing a lot of the quartz we threw in before we went to the nether. We're going to have so much quartz, it's going to be unbelievable. Probably more than we can use for the foreseeable future anyway. I think the biggest bottleneck actually for us is this compressor, which has to do redstone diamond for plates, and also the quartz dust for the quartz plates. So we may see about adding an upgraded compressor to this mix as well. But I guess we're going for 63 diamond plates since it doesn't really cut evenly from the blocks. We'll settle for one less engineering. Thankfully we do have really fast laser engravers for these chipsets. I wonder if we got any luck from the centrifuge yet. Nope, still nothing. The RNG is not on our side today. Okay, so while we wait on those machines, looking ahead a little bit at the storage components, we are also going to need ULV circuits for these, at least for the 1Ks. And we can either use the vacuum tubes, or we can use NAND chips. And I think we do have access to these now that we're in EV. We need the system on chips, which come from the wafers and an amber lens, it looks like. Oh yeah, we could have made these in MV even. We do still have some vacuum tubes that I guess we can use, just to get them out of the way. But the rest we'll use as NANDs. That sounds so weird to say. But I don't think we have an amber lens though, is the problem. We should have plenty of amber. In fact, probably too much amber. Mining in the Twilight Forest gives you way too many of these gems. Yeah, look at the state of this chest. All of this chip stuff has to be macerated and then crafted together. It just takes some time though. And apparently we looked at an ender creeper. I didn't even see this guy. He actually almost got me as well. Is it even possible to hit these guys? I don't know where he went. He's kind of making me a bit nervous now. Alright, well, we got the full stack of each processor. I managed to find one spare diamond plate, which is how we got the 64th. We also got the item circuit tier 1s, which means we can enchant the loot bags that we have. Or not. Are we missing a step? I think there's one more step to this. Oh yeah, we have to combine them with the logic processors. I was all excited there. I thought I had everything prepared. Hopefully it's a fast recipe. But we won't do too many of these things. I want to keep the logic processors as logic processors. Alright, let's see what we get. Our first 2 enchanted loot bags. Okay, here goes. Wow. That is crazy. Some dense cable, various crafting, redstone capacity cards. Honestly, these crafting cards though, no. The rest I am very pleased with. Pattern terminal, crafting terminal, and interface terminal. And we got some smart cable. Okay, that is nice. Okay, so the next thing we want is an ME controller, which requires Fluix, and the Fluix in this pack is the default recipe, it looks like. Although there is a mixer recipe for Fluix dust, nether quartz, redstone, and charged Certus. How do we get charged Certus? Oh, it's just a chemical reaction between Certus quartz dust and redstone. That's easy enough, it's just a lot of steps, which means a lot of machines. Our base is going to get absolutely huge when we move. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the move, but, I mean, we need a rocket, right? What am I even looking for? Ah, yeah, the quartz. Okay, so I hooked up a reservoir over here for the mixer, and this is absolutely blazing fast. That's nice. And I've also put in multiple stacks here of Certus and redstone for the charged versions, and then we have to actually autoclave this Fluix, which apparently has now disappeared. Oh, it went in the chest above. I must have wrenched this thing. Yeah, we have to send the Fluix dust through the autoclave once we craft it into the seeds, and the autoclave also needs water in it. So I think what we'll do is actually just switch the location of this wire mill with our autoclave, which is this one. And that way we can plug the water in the autoclave. Then we can craft the Fluix seeds. Has to be in an assembler, of course. Then we can craft the Fluix seeds. And the autoclave recipe is 100 seconds. I did notice that there was the, the crystal growth acceleration chamber or something? The crystal growth chamber. But this thing requires 6 crystal growth accelerators, which is 6 EV autoclaves. And this ain't cheap at this, at this point in the game. So I think we'll just settle with the autoclave at 100 seconds. So yeah, things are not really that expensive for us. It's just that the machines are all super slow. So it takes forever to craft anything. So yeah, other than the Fluix, it's just the HV circuits, which we have a few left over. Some titanium plates, which we have. And the engineering processors. Oh, we actually got 2 more loot bags from this as well. Let's see if we can skip any more progression with these. I think we have a few more books to work with. Alright, here we go, round 2. More terminals, dense cable, redstone cards, capacity cards, and 1k fluid storage. I'll take it, not too bad. Oh, we got more. Crafting cards, ew. Alright, so yeah, we basically know how everything else works by now. We'll also need an ME drive, which takes some glass cable actually. Should be manageable for us. We'll need a few MV circuits for the chest as well. It's going to be a lot of manual crafting, but yeah, I'm going to craft some more items and hopefully we can get our plutonium as well. Still no luck out of the centrifuge yet. But yeah, let me see what we can do about our first basic ME system. Oh, this is such an exciting moment, look at this. We have an ME system with an on-off switch just to save power. So right now we're just powering this with one HV combustion generator into the energy acceptor, and we have a toggle bus on the end of this glass cable. So that way if we give it a redstone signal, then it will power our ME system. This is just so that we have a way to turn it off and that we're not constantly burning fuel when we don't need to access this thing. Since most of the items will probably stay in a lot of these chests for now. At least until we can expand and we have the resources to create more cells. Right now I just went with 20 of these 1k storage cells. And it actually took quite a while to craft all this stuff. Basically because the quest calls for like some random stuff in between. And I wanted to make sure we pick up the quests. Since, well, we get more loot bags from this. More or less every single one gives you a loot bag, so we may as well grab this. We also have 2 more books for fortune. Let's do this. Oh, we got the smart cable quest. More crafting cards. This is the new redstone torches. Those belong there. Yeah, that wasn't so good actually, those ones. Anyways, it's been about an hour or so, and we're still waiting on this centrifuge. I actually ended up making a second HV macerator, and moving the one from ore processing over here, just so that we could hook up a little buffer chest, and then the Phobos Stone dust is filtered in the centrifuge, and all the outputs are put in this chest here. Unfortunately, no plutonium here though. But I realised that we haven't actually used this polybenzimidazole. All of the tungsten string is now finished in this wire mill, so we should be able to fluid extract these sheets here. And we will have to temporarily turn off these macerators since we don't have enough combustion generators back there, so we can't have too many machines on this line running at once. Oh, actually, the recipe is EV, isn't it? Yeah. We need our EV assembling machine. Oh, that's where all the graphite went. I forgot I left it in here. Well, this has to be circuit 1, thermal cloth, tungsten string, titanium foil, and the fluid? Man, that took so long. Everything today took so long. Wow, what a journey. And I think we can really only call this the end of the beginning. The real fun of this pack is just getting started. Let's also just make sure we don't create 2 of the same armor piece. So while we wait 105 seconds per armor piece here, there is actually a different strategy I'd like to go for the Radon. Unless by some miracle while I was crafting that thing we got our plutonium, which I highly doubt. I think instead we're going to do the decayed Radon. So basically what we do here is we take uraninite, uranium or pitch blend, and we run this through an HV sifter, which we actually don't have, so we'll have to craft one of these things. But this gives us a 5% chance at 226 dust, but I mean anything to increase our odds. And then we basically just leave it in a chest for 1 hour, and it gives us decayed radium, which we then electrolyze, and this gives us straight radon. So how difficult is the sifting machine? Not too bad. Do we have any more HV circuits? Yes. Alright, so we got the sifting machine HV, and remember, we can always disassemble this with our disassembler here. I don't think we'll actually need this other than for the radon. And so we did pick up a bunch of uraninite, I think on Mars. It turns out that I left this in the same chest that we placed the miners at, so I had to go back to the nether to collect this. However, we can wash this crushed dust, and it won't actually go through this multi-block, which is why we had to make the HV one. I mean, I guess we could probably just overclock this. I didn't actually think about that, since this is only running at MV. You know what, actually, yeah, it's going to be so much faster if we do that. Hold on. Mistakes were made. I guess we're disassembling this sooner than I first thought. I'm so glad we have this thing. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, we got it. Oh, we don't even need to do this anymore. Oh my goodness, look how much Phobos Stone we've used. Oh, I cannot believe this. That is awesome. Okay, so we should be able to just throw this through the furnace. Wow, that is way too loud. We need a muffling upgrade. Okay, and it's time to kickstart this for the first time, just to see if it works. We should have our air in there, and hopefully this outputs us radon. Although it is a 600 second recipe, so we're gonna be waiting a little while. Although this only has to run once. We only need 250 per quantum eye, and we only need 3 quantum eyes for a rocket. And we get 800 per recipe here, so yeah, I guess let's grab the final armor piece, which should be finished. Thermal chestplate. Uh oh, no quest? Oh, where's the quest? Oh no. Oh, that is just what you want to see. Apparently we didn't hold the thermal cloth out long enough. Well, I hope that quest doesn't get anything for us. It doesn't as far as I can see. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Oh yeah, we're only getting 100 radon out of this. Because the other recipe for radon is if you have a full stack of these plutonium-239 ingots, which obviously we don't have. So this has to run 8 times before we have enough radon for a quantum eyes, which is another 80 minutes. Well, I think with that we'll just wrap up the episode here. I mean, we basically have a rocket. We're just waiting on this radon. We have everything else we need to go to the Asteroid Belts, which means that we can unlock this quest here. All we need to do is pick up some asteroid rock for the prerequisite, and this is just a checkbox quest. And finally we'll get access to our void portal. But yeah, we did also unlock our Applied Energistics system, which is going to be great. I think I'm going to first of all transfer all of these items in the work tables over, just to make crafting those items a bit easier. And then we're going to start thinking about our base move as well. So there's a lot of planning and things left to do on that front. I don't really want to go in without a plan, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next few videos actually, and I'm going to be trying to explain my thinking behind the thought process of the base setup. I do have a few ideas which I'm excited about, but yeah, we're going to leave that for next time. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon for some more Gregtech New Horizons.